exceptional performance because it's such a tough place to come and get a result. Because of Argentina, and I really Argentina is slowly and surely progressing. I don't want to say slowly, but they're progressing well. They had some big victories, beating Australia in Australia, beating New Zealand last year, New Zealand, beating if you think the series they had here in 2022 against Scotland, and Scotland beat France now, so they're right up there. So we really had to get our stuff in order to grind out this victory.
No de manera lenta, sino de manera progresiva y consiguiendo triunfos muy importantes, como el que lograron en Australia la semana pasada, como la gira de fin de año con Inglaterra, mismo siendo el partido que han hecho con Escocia en junio, y ahora Escocia ganó a Francia, con lo cual considera Argentina y, por sobre todo, en Argentina, un plan muy bien. Well, can you answer? Also, same question.
Today, you started with a substitution from the last game. How did the team assembly with the beginnings?
Yeah, I think there was obviously a lot of changes, and I think the one thing the coaches are trying to do is to give everyone a chance before the World Cup squad is announced. And I think today a lot of guys put their hands up, showing that they're ready for the World Cup, making it tough for the coaches, obviously. But I mean, as a squad, when you arrived here, we spoke about backing each other on the field. We knew it was going to be tough, a very hostile crowd today. But I mean, you saw first half, we tried a lot of things. Obviously, the season didn't go our way, but we knew second half it was going to come our way. We just had to keep on grinding. And obviously, playing in Argentina in front of the home crowd, it was tough today. But I mean, the guys really picked up their hands and showed that, they really want to be in the World Cup squad.
Bueno, creo que teníamos el desafío de ver cómo resolvíamos con tantos cambios, porque obviamente los entrenadores querían ver todos los jugadores que nos propusimos, bancarnos unos a los otros, apoyarnos dentro del campo. En el primer tiempo, sobre todas las cosas intentamos, pero bueno, no se pudo dar. Y en el segundo tiempo salimos con la confianza necesaria para poder revertirlo. Y las cosas empezaron a dar. Estamos muy contentos porque sabemos lo difícil que es enfrentar a Argentina ante su público, una hinchada bastante fervorosa, pero bueno, nos vamos contentos por el triunfo que podemos hacer, y creo que por sobre todas las cosas, los jugadores levantaron la mano, demostrándole al entrenador que están para ser convocados para la lista del Mundial. Sí.
Por un segundo tiempo de juego, ¿cuáles fueron las claves puntuales en lo deportivo para quedarse con la victoria?
Where do you think the keys for the game to get, especially in the second half, to get the game?
What was the key?
Yeah, the key.
Yeah, I think obviously the first half, we had a lot of discipline issues. When they came into the change room, we spoke about it. We said that we're going to try and be more disciplined and try to turn the game onto our side. And I think came on second half, you could see that we got more penalties, and obviously Mani converting the penalties put us in a good position to win the game.
Estuve con la disciplina, fuimos un poco indisciplinados en el primer tiempo. En la historia hablamos sobre eso, y bueno, así como lo vieron, dejamos de cometer penales, y también Mani aprovechó las oportunidades que tuvo, y bueno, por eso nos pudimos quedar con el partido.
Do you think that South Africa has any issues with the group, or to continue working to the World Cup? Yeah, I think like Bongi mentioned now, I think in the first half, sometimes you're going to concede penalties because you contest and you get you get it technically wrong, but it's the avoidable penalties. And the tackle of the ball, the avoidable penalties that I feel, the non-roll away, which is all in your own control. I feel we have to limit that in terms of, I think the World Cup will be so close and so tight. If you think even today, I don't know what the world rankings look like, but any team can beat any team on any given day. So I think discipline will be a key issue going to the World Cup.
Creo que la disciplina va a ser un tema fundamental. Hoy cometimos varios penales no forzados, más que nada en el momento de no salir de la posición del tackle. Y creo que de cara al Mundial van a ser partidos muy cerrados, muy peleados, si se fijan en el ranking, qué equipo le puede ganar a cualquiera. Entonces me parece que tenemos que trabajar principalmente en ese aspecto de disciplina.
Victories. What the seems that you got the players in the midterm to go out at single half and
I think the big discussion, actually Bongi led it at halftime, is that we are getting the opportunities, but we're just not converting them. So like we had the two opportunities where we went over the try line, but we got held up, which is great defense from Argentina. I thought they were very smart and clever with that. So just listen, we are actually getting there. But we're just not converting our opportunities and to keep the energy up, because sometimes that can deflate you. But I must say, that's one thing he mentioned maybe early on in the press conference. He said that they made a pact to each other that they will back each other during the week. And I thought that's exactly what they did. That missed opportunities didn't drain the energy. They kept the energy up. And that's why I think in the first 10 minutes of the second half, we actually converted. We got points even with a yellow card.
Creo que la clave estuvo en que en el primer tiempo hubo alguna que otra situación que no pudieron concretar y que quizás fue hasta mérito de la defensa argentina, que supo cómo ponerse para que no puedan apoyar, y en el segundo tiempo lograron revertir esa situación a partir de que esas situaciones, en vez de llevar para atrás el equipo o sacarle energía, por el contrario, así como dijeron que se bancaron uno a otro y lograron poder revertir ese tipo de situaciones y lograron marcar por sobre todas las cosas al principio del segundo tiempo, lo cual fue clave para ellos para poder vencer con el partido. La última.
La pregunta, una pregunta, pero que lo vean desde el punto de vista del enfoque de entrenador y el jugador. ¿Qué diferencia encontraron entre el primer partido y esta revancha con el Puebla?
The question is for both of you. What difference do you find between the first game and the second one? The game last week and this week?
From our side, I think in last week, we were pretty much, I thought we were in control of the game up to we got the yellow card, again discipline, and then that gave Argentina a foothold back into the game. And I think maybe our mindset in this game, when we had opportunity to go for poles, although we did miss a lot of kicks off the tee, a lot of points off the tee, I think when we had opportunity to get points, we took it.
This week.
Yeah, this week.
La diferencia fue que el partido pasado tuvieron más que nada control del partido hasta la amarilla, y eso le permitió a Argentina mejorar y ponerse el partido. Y quizás hoy, nada, en el segundo tiempo aprovecharon para marcar mucho más, y principalmente cuando tuvieron las oportunidades, cosa que quizás la semana pasada no hicieron, de patear los palos, patearon mucho más.
I just want to say something. Can we just go to the South African media? But Jock just wants to say something quickly.
I just want to, yes, Augustine Creevy, listen, hats off, first guy for Argentina to get out in a test match. Hats off to him. He's been a phenomenal servant to the game and unbelievable competitor. Just from us, I know we said it, we did it on the field, but just from our side, unbelievable experience to him and his family. All the sacrifices that they made in his long career.
Quiere sacarse el sombrero y dejar bien en claro, ¿no?, estar de Sudáfrica y todo el equipo de Sudáfrica, por Agustín Crevi, por sus 100 partidos, por ser el primer jugador en cumplir 100 partidos, nada, por todo el sacrificio que ha hecho él y toda su familia por estar acá, lo hicieron en el campo de juego, pero nada, no quería dejarlo claro ahora en conferencia.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for Argentina, so you can stay here.
Perfect. And then we will bring two players that side.
Okay, so we'll be there.
Brilliant.
See you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, guys. Let's just wait for them to clear the room, and then we'll take the 5 hands that are up here. Those are the 5 questions we'll be taking from South Africa.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. Okay, hi guys, there were 5 hands raised. We are pressed for time, so please bear with us. We'll take these 5 questions: Percy, Stephen, Leighton, Ross, and Jan. And then I'll just send some mixed zone content through on the WhatsApp group. So firstly, Percy.
Dankie Mazina, baie geluk, Jacques, baie geluk Bongie. Jacques, net kortliks, wat het julle wyser geword uit hierdie wedstryd? En tweedens, Jacques, oor die volgende dag of twee, hoe maklik of hoe moeilik gaan dit vir jou en die nasionale keerder wees om vir 5 spelers te sê, julle was tog so naby, tog so ver gewees, meneer?
Ja, Jesper, ek gaan begin met die tweede een. Ek dink dit gaan 'n baie moeilike team selection meeting wees. Ek dink baie ouens het hulle hande opgesteek en ek dink nie in die groep van wat gespeel het. Ek weet nie hoeveel het speel, 39. Ons het 38. Daar was 'n paar beseerde ouens wat nou nie baie geleentheid gekry het nie, maar ek dink uit die 38 ouens wat gespeel het almal hulle hande opgesteek. Ja, so ek dink dit gaan 'n baie moeilike een wees. En wat het ons wyser geword uit hierdie wedstryd? Ja, ek dink maar eerstens Bongie, jy weet, en die hele span. Ek dink vanaf ons maandag hier gekom het, ek dink ja, ons baie mense het ons 'n kans gegee nie, maar ek bedoel, hierdie ouens het die ding gedryf van maandag af. Ja, dis maar net as die ding wat ek uitgeleer het, is die bokke hulle kop op 'n ding sit, jy weet, dan is hulle baie moeilik stopbaar.
Steven?
Thanks, Z. Congratulations, guys. Great effort. Jacques, net in die, kan jy net vir my sê, as enige van die ouens, as jy miskien enige ouens groot soort van vordering gemaak in jou gedagtes, moontlik selfs vir 'n plek in jou sterkste span. Jy weet, ek kyk nou na ou soos byvoorbeeld Damien, wat vir my ongelooflik gelyk het op heel agter. Kane het baie skerp gelyk. And then Bongie, what does it say about the team, what you guys achieved in the second half, turning it on like that?
I think about the team, as Coach Jacques said, I think our mindset arriving in Argentina, we knew it was going to be tough. Playing Argentina at their home ground is always tough. It's never easy. And obviously we know they're going to come with passion and a lot of emotions and energy. But I think from the get-go on Monday, our first session, our first team meeting, we just spoke about backing each other and being aligned as a team. And I think today, exactly what we did, especially first half. We didn't get a lot of opportunities coming our way. A lot of decisions went against us. But I think credit to the team for keeping their head in the game, and also at halftime knowing that it is going to turn somewhere. And I think once it turned, we took the points, and I think credit to Mani also for keeping it in the game, for dropping his head when he missed a couple of points in the first half. And I think he just showed backing each other and staying aligned with the plan will definitely bring us the reward.
Steven, ek dink daar's 'n paar ouens wat uitstaande wedstryd gehad het, en ek sê weer, die hele plan was van die begin af, en ek wil nie slim, ons het van die begin af gesê, luister, ons probeer almal soveel as moontlik as wat ons kan. Dit is onmoontlik in 4 wedstryde om almal geleentheid te gee, omdat ons bietjie anders is as sê nou maar die suidelike halfrond. Ek dink jy kan sien Frankryk het vandag baie, hulle het nie hulle sterkste span gespeel nie, want hulle sit met dieselfde ding, hulle moet mense speelkans gee voor hulle in 'n wêreldbeker ingaan. Ek dink Nieu-Seeland het vandag die eerste keer basies maar rotasie gegaan, hulle het sterkte moontlike span gekies in die eerste 3 wedstryde, en almal het hulle eie taktiek, maar ek dink, ja, ons goed, 'n klomp ouens het 'n paar minute onder hulle belt gekry, baie span hulle het bietjie meer gekry as ander. En dit was van die begin af ons plan. Ek sê weer, ek wil nie slim klink nie, is maar net, ons het van die begin af, as ons eerlik met die spelers het gesê, ons wil nog steeds perform, ons wil nog steeds wen, maar dit is belangrik dat ons die load spread tussen al die spelers. So wat ons wyser geraak, party ouens het bietjie meer game time gekry en so.
Leighton, Ross, and Jan, can I please ask that you only ask a question to one person? Now we're really pressed for time. So, Leighton? Okay, Leighton seems to be missing. Ross?
Thanks, Zina. How's it, guys? Coach Shock, first thing, just a quick one on Lucanio. Was that precautionary, or are you a bit worried about an injury there? And secondly, with this game, as well as the Australian game, there were a number of players who, most people would think were not really in the World Cup conversation. Do you think that's now given you guys quite a bit of a headache now with the performance of these guys, in that they might be putting their hands up ahead of some guys who before the season started looked like they'd make it into that group?
Ross, yeah, the main thing, I said it to the team on Monday, and we actually say it week in, week out. I think the big thing is there's not two squads. And I think from the outside, people see two squads. There's never been two squads. There was always a plan where we said, listen, we're going to try and do this. And it was transparent, and we explained it to everybody, and we explained the reasons behind it. So although I think people look from the outside and they see two squads, there is not two squads. There's never been two squads. There's one squad. There was 42 players, and 38 had an opportunity as much as we possibly could, and for us to get game time under them. So I think people said, yeah, the Australia game was a B side, and the game that went to New Zealand's A side. It was never like that, and so it's never been like that. We didn't see it like that. Although people from the outside might see it like that, but it's never been the case. Then was it? Yeah. On Lukey, yes. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure. We just said at halftime, Doc just said, listen, he can't continue. I'm not sure what his injury is, but yeah.
And then since Leighton is gone, Jan, we'll close off with your one question.
Thank you very much, Zina. Thanks, Jacques. Thanks, Bongi. Jacques, you've said previously that the Scotland game is going to be very, very important in terms of the World Cup campaign. Having watched them today, has that become more important, that game? How difficult is it going to be, that Scotland game?
No, listen, like we said in the start, we go in, and that's the reason why we try and get. I think if you look at some teams, they reserve hooker. I know Joseph got a couple of minutes today, got a couple of minutes against Australia. But I think if you look at some teams, their third hooker on 6 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, So that's the thing. We wanted to make sure that everybody has had a proper run of a little bit of match minute. Not proper, but at least some match minutes. Like I say, it's impossible to, in 4 games, get everybody the same amount of minutes, because you also want to build some combinations, and I think hats off to the squad. The squad is under massive pressure when you don't keep combinations consistent, and that will probably change now leading up into the World Cup and after we've announced the World Cup squad. We will reassess where we are now and where we feel the combinations are. But yes. Sorry.
Scotland's performance today. Scotland's performance today.
Oh, Scotland. Sorry. I forgot about it. So yeah, that's a key thing for us. I think Scotland, we're going to be a knockout rugby from game 1. Scotland is the most important game for us, and we must make sure that we peak there. And sorry, that's why I started with a long-winded thing, that we had to get everybody a little bit of game time and not just training. So I think the majority of the guys have had some minutes. We've in our heads, we have a minute mark that we chase, which I'm not going to share. But we're comfortable that the guys that we wanted to get certain game minutes in, because of when their season ended. Some guys ended their season 10, 12 weeks ago, so they obviously need a little bit more game time than guys that maybe in the top 14 only finished 6 weeks ago. So we try to balance it out with different competitions. But Scotland's going to be massive. Like we said from the start, listen, it's going to be a big game, like they showed today with a red card. Put France to the sword. Yes, and it was maybe a rotational squad of France. There's a couple of guys that might be in their starting, that might be in their World Cup squad and maybe on the fringe, and maybe 1 or 2 starters. But yes,
Thank you very much, guys. We'll be sending out the recording with the match reaction media release. So just keep an eye on that. And thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Dankie. Dankie almal.
Dankie allemaal.